Alright, guys, welcome back to The Reader. So, today, as promised, I will be covering the comments section from Game is Its Own Status, which was the last upload that I had. So, commenter Advocatus Diaboli says, "It was seeing stuff like this in my early 20s that convinced me about the futility of treating women with basic human decency. Of course, I did go for the pro and semi-pro route. But I also got much more unpaid sex as I stopped giving a shit about women." Commenter The Truth chimes in saying, "Waiting for the feminuts and manginas to come crawling out of the woodwork screeching how only low self-esteem women would fall for thugs like this. Wrong." Kid Strangelove comments saying, "Holy shit, this is like the most random bit of high school drama played out on the big stage. But it's a damn shame the father didn't do anything about it while he could have. A damn shame." CH was right in his previous posts. Females are becoming more aggressive in this day and age, and not only sexually. A couple of days later, Kid Strangelove comments again, saying, "Fuck, I've been thinking about this story a bunch, and it really angers me that the parents of the girls were that ignorant about what was going on. At what point do you look at your kids and start to differentiate between teenagers will be teenagers and I need to step in there and do some fucking parenting?" User named whatever comments saying, "The father needs to lay the groundwork early on that this type of person is scum and would not be acceptable. I'm talking really early, starting at age 4. This is when the daughter is most impressionable and it will become ingrained in her. It also helps if the mother is on board. A simple way would be to never be impressed with anyone without an education, no matter what. Children would pick up on that. Without this groundwork, trying to put down the boy after your daughter is already in love would be pretty difficult, no matter how clever the put down. Strictly forbidding her from seeing him runs into its own set of problems." Commenter Anon says, "This story has nothing to do with bitches, because bitches just gravitate to whatever power is there when they're left in a vacuum. This story is just more proof that white American dudes have fucked themselves in the asses. A scrawny, brown, tattooed freak is more desirable to hot chicks. What is a typical white American dude other than a fat, balding consumerist who is brainwashed by the media and busts his ass to work for the man, support his fat ex-wife, and pay alimony? Why would any hot chick want to get with that?" Miley Cyrax comments, "Not a day goes by that I don't consider dropping out of NYC finance and going back to my hometown to get a tattoo and thug it out, bang hot dumb high school seniors for the next 10 to 15 years. Commenter Firepower adds, "As America browns, blonde white chicks dumping Swipple herbivores for wetbacks will increase. It's a good thing I got a laugh at the end. At least 2 of these promiscuous cretins are taken out of the gene pool." Commenter Sharpcool adds, "Read some of the comments under the article." And by that he means the original article on which the story was published. "Those comments will make you puke. If you didn't know better, you would think the guy was the murderer. All the comments I read are about how terrible he is. Meanwhile, the cold-blooded psychopath murderer was the girl who stabbed another girl in the heart with a steak knife. But since girls are vulnerable little angels, not accountable for the things they do or for the guys they see, it's the guy who's the bad one here." Unbelievable. Piglet adds his 2 cents, saying, "The sad truth of it is that CH is totally right about all this stuff, and the rational response for young men is just to go with it. Us old married dudes with daughters are the ones who are going to have to try to hold the line. I'm not optimistic about our chances." Captain Obvious comments, "Fathers are idiots when it comes to their daughters, mostly. I think this is because most fathers are betas to the core. They think that what worked at attracting women back in the day will work now, so they assume their daughter will be attracted to the nerdy guy with a good job. Wrong. Further, young women are the most easy to game since they love excitement and mystery. About the only way for a father to prevent his daughter from dating bad boys is to grow her up very religious and send her to a religious-oriented high school and college. Although, even this is no guarantee. The allure of the bad boy is strongest in the young chicks. Vincent Ignatius comments, "These types of stories are great fuel for inner game. Once you understand the psychology of women, you can't possibly put them on a pedestal. It's stories like this that demonstrate the proper place for any girl is groveling at your feet." Captain Obvious responds again saying, "Oh, and the takeaway from the story is pretty simple. If you want to do well with women, 18 to 22 age range, douche it up. Douche it up hardcore." Commenter Rant Casey responds to the Bring the Movies comment from the original article. "The most interesting thing about shit tests is that deep inside, every woman knows she is not to be taken serious. Her matters are trivial. She has nothing but sexual amusement to bring to the table. And that is the most of the significance to which she can aspire. So then she shit tests. There's no better way to sort out whether a man is a romantic pussyhead or a grounded man. Bring the movies. You didn't fool me, woman. Bring the movies. For we both know what you're saying makes no sense at all, and you'd rather shut up. If only man would be clever enough to demand the best of you, which is silence. Your mind is not sound, and your emotions are your masochistic torture. It burdens you, and you always come back for more. Bring the movies and shut the fuck up. You're safe, for I don't care what you're saying. Don't bother trying to make sense. You will not. Just bring the movies." So some dim-witted feminist comes into the comments section saying, "This doesn't prove that asshole game gets girls. This proves that asshole game gets stupid, vapid, attention-whorish, flaky girls who pretend to be Britney Spears. Look at the right-hand girl. Just from a facial expression, you can tell she's got a room temperature IQ." CH responds, "I don't think you quite get it. A woman's value to a man is almost entirely wrapped up in her looks. An asshole game works on all kinds of hot chicks. The low self-esteem canard is just a pretty lie to help jealous broads and feminists like yourself rationalize their sisters' choices." Feminist says, "He got the girls for being conventionally attractive, extremely well-muscled, tattoo, nice face. He's easily physically hotter than either of his girlfriends, which can explain the attraction without game." CH responds, "No, that's not it. He's average looking, maybe a little better than average. But I've known plenty of much better looking men who could not for the life of them get two pretty young girls fighting for their attention. Clearly, bad boy game and learnable charisma was responsible for Camacho's success." Feminist responds, "Feminists would not argue with you. Feminists would point out that his behavior is something they like to call emotional abuse, that they are very aware exists, and that they are very aware manipulates women into staying with their abusers. The facts aren't different, but the difference is whether these facts are considered a good thing." CH responds, "Men give women what they want and what will open their legs. Emotional abuse, as it were, would not work if women didn't get turned on for men engaging in it, and men would stop being assholes if it stopped being effective at attracting women." Commenter Sedalius says, "There's nothing that gets a girl interested in a guy like the fact that another girl is interested in him. And it's not just a question of the other girl's interest giving the guy social proof either. It's much more atavistic than that. I think it's pathetic to justify killing someone on the basis of one's self-esteem. But the competition between these two girls wasn't just based on how horny the guy made them. There was an ego element involved as well." Commenter Patrick adds, "Much of the misdirected ire at the rapscallion Camacho is part and parcel of the blame shift rationalization of women at large. It often comes up in arguments with women when they use the formulation, 'you make me so,' rationalizing that they're not responsible for their feelings, and by extension, actions, because they have no control over them. The frontal lobes just write blank checks for the hindbrain. Thus, any action, whoring, snooping, murder, based on their feelings, tingle, jealousy, and rage, are in their minds at least somewhat justifiable, if not totally justified. It's this unstable facet of female psychology which game exquisitely targets and exploits to great effect. Commenter Whiskey adds, women prefer hard ghetto thugs over white beta losers any day of the week. Women love thugs, and black/Hispanic guys do thug better than anyone else. White guys, if they want to get in the game, will have to thug it up hard to keep up. As for the father, any attempt to put the kid in his place would have gotten his ass whipped. Kid was Mexican and a thug. He's got immunity to whip the father's ass, while dad has to watch what he says before he gets his ass kicked and put in jail. My guess is in the multicultural future, most white guys will have to pump iron, learn some kind of martial art, and carry. Be willing to shoot it out and book, whenever and wherever. So it's a self-solving problem for those that don't get wiped out. Women will be happy. Women would rather live in mud huts and starvation but with bad boy thugs than safety and security and boring betas. Commenter Chuck says, so many idiots in this story. The impetus for this drama was the father and the sorry state that our society has reached. But the root cause of the can't do nothing attitude lies in the government, i.e. the police wrenching control and power and thereby true justice from the hands of the common man. If I hypothetically have a daughter one day and she gets mixed up with some thug, let's just assume I didn't fuck up somewhere else along the way during her upbringing, I'd prefer to beat the fuck out of the kid and defend myself against any of his boys seeking revenge. I would like to be able to form my own posse of uncles and male cousins should I really need to defend myself and my family. But I can't just do that. My hands are tied. I have to rely on the police to fill in the gaps. But they don't have the resources to fill in the gaps. In short, law-abiding men have become emasculated. This is a true curse of Western society. It isn't because we have necessarily been overly liberal or anything, although that is a problem too. It's because there is a problem of moral hazard within the police state itself. Here's the solution. Bring back vigilantism. Vigilantism was a bedrock of Western society and Western culture. Alright folks, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Royce Reader with comments from Game Is Its Own Status. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.